I wanted to take just a few moments to talk to you about your source evaluation assignment because it is an incredibly important assignment as you work on your research project. This assignment will require you to evaluate each of your 5 sources to support your research topic that I approved in the feedback of your topic pitch assignment. All 5 sources must be found through the Valencia College library databases. You also should not be using ebooks. Stick strictly to articles that you find through the databases rather than looking for ebooks. The reason for this is the turnaround time on this is pretty quick. It's pretty farcical to think that you would be able to read a full book and present the information in it thoughtfully. So ebooks are off limits. In addition to that, you will not be Googling sources and looking for them that way. You will not be using Google Scholar. You are required to solely use articles from the Valencia College library databases. To complete the source evaluation, you will download and complete the document answering questions for each of your 5 sources. As a reminder, this assignment both locks you into the sources you select here as well as the quotes you provide. In essence, you are collecting a repository of quotes for your essay. You might not know what repository of quotes means. Here's what I'm saying. For your essay, because you have 5 body paragraphs where you're required to use 2 examples from your sources, you would have a minimum of 10 quotes you use in your essay. However, for this assignment, you're required to pull 5 quotes per source that you might want to use in your essay, which means you should have a repository of a minimum of 25 quotes to pull from as you are working to complete your outline, rough draft, and full draft. So it's worth noting here that you're really doing a lot of the research legwork now to make your outline and rough draft much faster and easier to accomplish. You will not be allowed to swap out sources or quotes later, so be sure to thoughtfully select sources now. It's also worth noting that if you find that a source isn't working later, or if you only find sources and you don't provide the 5 quotes, then you will be limited to what you submit for this assignment. So the ramifications of this assignment are quite large. Please do take this assignment seriously. This is a mandatory assignment, which means future assignments for the research project will not be eligible for grading without submitting this assignment. You will use MLA 9 guidelines. If you look at the source evaluation document, you'll start by adding your name and date, your approved essay topic. All you have to do is tell me what it is. Maybe it's, I don't know, using, something to do with like EV cars or whatever. I don't know. Then for each of your sources, you will answer a series of 8 questions. You'll provide an MLA works cited citation for the source. This is a great opportunity for me to have a look at it and say, yep, you've done this correctly, or no, you have not. Here's what you need to look at to get this right. Then you will tell me what an MLA in-text citation for your source would look like. So if you have 2 authors and a page number, what does that look like versus if there's 3 or more authors or there are no page numbers? So I just want you to indicate what you think an in-text citation would look like. Remember, that's what comes in the parentheses. So if I wrote a source and you were quoting me from page 39, it would say Faulkner 39 in parentheses. I want to know which library database did you use to find the source. So did you go through EBSCOhost? Were you using Academic Search Complete or Academic OneFile? Were you using Opposing Viewpoints or Newsbank? Where did you go to find your source? Then for questions 4 through 8, you are doing the exact same thing. You're going to provide a meaningful direct quote that you may use in your essay, and then you're going to explain which part of your essay you're going to use it for. Narration, which is background information that your reader needs to understand the argument. The confirmation, those are going to be your 3 paragraphs where you make your points about why your point of view, your argument is the right point of view. And then your refutation. Maybe you are providing information that will help you refute a counterclaim. Maybe your source is providing you evidence of what a counterclaim might be and what that point of view shows. Regardless, for each one of these quotes, you will provide the quote and then a 1 to 2 sentence explanation of how and why you are going to use the quote for your essay. You will do this for all 5 sources. It's worth noting, this is a hefty assignment. It is going to take you time, and you will want to manage that time thoughtfully. I've also provided you a video. This was in the announcements as well, but a video that will show you around navigating the library, some of the MLA resources that are provided from the library. In addition to that, I've provided you some MLA touch points that are I'm linking directly to the library. One that's really, really helpful is in works cited entries. If you go to examples, it will give you examples of different things. So if you, in the case of this essay, are using articles from databases, this is what you should be doing. You can go find your type of database and see what a citation should look for. So if your database is EBSCOhost, is one of the EBSCOhost ones, it will bring up an example and walk you through what your citation should look like in which order, and showing you punctuation and all of those things. So I encourage you to have a close look at that. In addition to that, there's information on in-text citing in-text with quoting, block quotes, in-text citations. So this gives you the basics on in-text citations. What do you do if there isn't an author? What do you do if there's an indirect source where in the source someone else is quoted? How do you cite that properly? What do you do if you have multiple authors? This gives you all of that information. So I encourage you to use these resources to your advantage. I also want to remind you about academic integrity, making sure that it's you and only you completing this assignment. This is a 100-point assignment. Each source that you complete is worth 20 points of that 100 points. So I hope this video helps you to understand what's expected of you. I will show you very briefly an example. This is from my Comp 2 class. So they were doing things, they have a few different questions than you, but you'll notice I have a MLA citation. She did a pretty good job here. I have what an in-text citation was. She used the numbers ampersand to show that there are page numbers that she would be using. They were allowed to use websites. You are not, so that will be different. And then notice she gives me a quote, and then she says, this quote supports the narration because it shows the root of political polarization. Then in the next part, for her next quote, this quote could be used in the refutation to show that polarization has grown. The next one says this quote could be used in the confirmation part of the essay to show how the effects are harmful messaging on political polarization. The student did very well in the assignment. You'll notice she did this for all 5 sources. That's basically what I'm looking for here. I hope this video is helpful, and if you have questions, just let me know.